100% ready?
Oh yeah, you're good to
All right.
go.
All right, we'll go ahead and call the workshop for City of Trenton to order, or call it the time, 6 o'clock. And this is our regular scheduled meeting. Commissioners, before we approve, we need to add 3B under Splosh for garage doors at Public Works. And then 3C, HVAC, emergency replacement Civic Center. Anything else, Commissioners, we need to?
What about the equipment we're gonna have to go build?
Surplus equipment, we can add that under 6, under workshop, surplus equipment. All right, approval of the agenda, of the revised workshop agenda, approval of the regular scheduled agenda. You had attached your previous meeting minutes for, we had December the 12th for the November meeting. See any additions or deletions or corrections on it? Everybody good? Board appointments and proclamations. As we all know, we met with the county on the 28th of December to discuss the elections building and the animal shelter. And we all agreed upon, I guess, given a thing of that is that we're working together and we're going to be doing, I guess we need to, should put that in approval as well, don't we, for the land. Forgot about that, but anyway, we can do that under other new business. But we're agreeing to the property at the, that's owned by the city and the current taxpayers. That's beside the depot and beside the Civic Center, to let that ownership move over to the county to build a election facility to serve as the county elections facility. And they've been doing our elections for a while. It being a facility that's away from any current county and city public building. It's just changed the ownership into them and to build it, and in return that the charges for the employees for city early voting and regular elections of our city will not be charged to us. The only charges we will be charged is what the Secretary of State bills us to do at any ballots or anything that we have to do. That's just part of our day-to-day or yearly, every other year budget that we have to do on our odd years. So we met, we kind of had some agreements. I think legally tonight we'll have to make those agreements and agree upon that. Or we can go ahead and get the IG, let the attorneys get it drawn up and we can make a motion on all that. But I know this past week the county commission talked about it. I'm trying to remember if they agreed upon that. I don't think they did. So that's where we are. I think we'll let the attorneys work on that. I think we can agree tonight that we're going to proceed for that side of that, if that's the understanding that the commissioners y'all agree, remember upon with our agreements.
Yeah.
Okay. So of that, we need people to serve on a subcommittee for both of them. Now we're going to invite all the commission, but if only a few of you's there, we'd like to have some subcommittee members. At least 2 folks from each county, from 2 from the county and 2 from the city, but we're going to have everybody invited to also work with the animal shelter facility, which will be behind the Dade County Transfer Station on the very back corner, which is close to our city Woolbright pump station. There's already water, power, and sewer at that location, so that's a big hurdle. And the biggest thing I think we got to understand for that is what it's going to cost the taxpayers from now on, what it's going to cost to run that from day to day. Monda's been doing some work with some facilities, the facilities that we got from Cherokee, we're getting numbers from them. Whitfield just also built a new facility, so it might be something looking at that, but if we build it, how we gonna pay for it, and how we gonna keep a director involved. It's gonna have to be, because this is something that somebody has to be with from now on. So I think that's the big hurdle, what we're gonna do and how much to operate. That's why we're gonna continue to meet to come up with that. So open it up to y'all, see how many or what we'd like, who would like to help serve with that.
Well, of course, you all know I want to be.
Okay.
Y'all guess which one I want to be.
Well, I think we're gonna do it with both, it's just,
I know that. I definitely want to be involved in that. I've been pushing for this for years and years, and I've already done a lot of groundwork, and, Kerry's gonna have his hands busy with that elections. That elections bill.
Yeah,
okay. So Terry and Mon will be our two representatives for this, and again, all the commissions are invited, all input is gonna be done, so that'll be our committee. Everybody agree? Okay. All right,
I don't think you could have gotten two better people.
there you go. Approval splash equipment, shoot, that should have been 4A and 4B, that's my apologies.
Well, that's what I thought.
I was, what I was looking
I
for.
put mine on B.
So, splosh approval, we had got some pricing on it, or I'll let Monica go ahead and talk.
Well, when we had the burglary down there, we had the doors broken into. That building's really old, and the doors were not insulated. There was windows in the door. We want to replace it without windows. And so we had to replace it regardless. So we just figured we'd go ahead and go with what we feel we needed. And we've got two quotes. One was from Northgate Doors for $10,290, and then we got one from Corey Castleberry, which is local here in Rising Pond, and his was $76.25. And I did confirm with Timmy that these are supposed to be the same exact doors, since there was such a difference in the price. But I will tell you this. I have dealt with Roger Castleberry, who is this guy's dad, over the years when we've had to buy doors, and I guess because he's local and he's a one-man show, I guess that's why, because he's always substantially cheaper than the other folks. And I love the idea of it being somebody here too. So I'd like to.
I know we talked about panel doors insulated to help with the heating of the facility and cut down on our utility costs when we were working on budget, because those glasses, there's no insulation, so that's what Corey priced. So I talked to him as well, because we had two doors break at the fire hall, one on the fire hall, one on the EMS side. And he told me that they were paneled insulation, just like what they had put the ones in the fire hall.
So I would just like to ask the commission to approve that, to use Castleberry on those doors for $76.25 out of Florida. We'd already voted to do it, we just didn't have a price.
Everybody good with Mr. Castleberry?
Yeah.
All right, HVAC, Civic Center, I think we had a merger there, so let Mr. Terry talk about it.
okay, the small air conditioner unit which does the office, the kitchen, and the bathrooms stopped working. We called out a maintenance group to come out and look at it. They built it with Freon, and then a day or two later it was in the same shape. So it was a hole in one of the coils, and that part cannot be bought for that unit anymore since the age of it. So they gave us a price of the unit, and then they knocked off the price for the Freon and the service call for the first time they come out. So the price is $4,600, and that's something we had to do quick, because we could not leave the Civic Center without that heat or cooling.
What was the price for you?
$4,600.
Didn't they do the one before too?
They did the other two, yeah. And they have 10 years on parts and labors, and 10 years on compressor with every unit they sell. So that's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
So I just want everybody to know why that.
All right, we'll go on to item 5, update on street closures. This is the areas that we agreed upon. Again, that's in the attorney's hands to get all that balled up for backup stuff. So it's, again, getting information to him and working on that. I think for the holidays and all, we're still working on that. Surplus of equipment.
We have a list of things from the street department that are down there just kind of sitting around that we don't use for whatever reason anymore. Some of it's in good shape, working shape, some of it's not. But I've got you a list of it, and we just like to put it on gov deals.
Is he talking about the big large chipper as well on that bottom? It says chipper there at the bottom.
I think it is, I guess so. When I was saying the chipper, I was thinking leaf bag, but it wouldn't be that because the leaf bag's
I think
up
we
at
need
the top.
I think on some bigger things, that might be better to hang on to that here and there. I know we're not using it as much, but you never know during a big storm, it may have to happen. We can verify, but small leaf bag, the old disc mower, 2 old Ariens mowers, the old F-750 dump truck,
Which is the leaf truck.
yeah, the box blade, there's another blade there, 2 Echo weed eaters, 2 old steel weed eaters, a Husqvarna wedge head weed eater, an old Echo pole saw, and a Husqvarna zero turn mower, and we can verify on that chipper.
Yeah, I just was thinking the leaf bag. I didn't.
Yeah. Okay. Y'all good surplus the old equipment? We kind of asked him to start taking some. This is stuff we just don't use no more. It's just sitting there. We also got a bunch of old metal there as well too. There was an old leaf back. I think they bought 2 old ones back several years ago when Preston and I think Mayor Harris was here at the time. It's sitting up over in the corner. There's a ton of other old stuff that we just need to get hauled off for scrap steel. I'd like to add that scrap steel stuff on there as well. We can haul it up to the scrap yard either in Alabama or Tennessee.
Okay.
And just clean up the lot a little bit.
We probably got a bunch of old signs back there too.
Yeah. So. All righty. I say we go right on into our regular meeting if you want to. And we'll stand for invocation and pledge allegiance. It's time we'll pray. Dear Father, we thank you for this day and thank you for the blessings upon this city, our employees and our taxpayers. Thank you for what you do for all of us, and be here tonight as we go through the decisions of the city and as we move forward, and just be with us as we go further on in your precious name. Amen. Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Again, this is a regular scheduled meeting. Takes place on the second Monday of every month. All proper notice was given to follow the local ordinance of the county. At this time, we'll do roll call. Commissioner Powell.
Here.
Commissioner Wooten.
Here.
Commissioner House.
Yeah.
And Commissioner Norris is out. All right, we'll go into police department reports. I'll give that for Mr. Norris. They answered in the month of December 275 calls, conducted 2,020 business checks, 4 animal complaints, 5 domestics, 5 trespassing calls, and 22 suspicious activities, worked 19 accidents, 82 traffic stops, and over 50 citations were issued throughout the month of December. So we appreciate the guys out there doing their job and keep it up and keep us safe. And you think 2,020 business checks. Our police officers have got great technology in their cars when they pull up to a business in our city. They're pulled up, it shows them there, they type the name of the business in, they get out, do their check, get back in and either write what's going on or radio stuff that's going on. I've been having to work a lot of night shifts due to some sickness at dispatch, and I'm very proud of our men and ladies that's out here doing this, especially during a time of the year when sometimes activities are higher during holidays, but I see businesses checked a lot, and it's very nice to know that we get 2,020 of them. Even our library, our park, several times a night, they just pull up, and what's nice about it, nobody knows, not even, they don't radio it no more, they just pull up and type it, it lets us know, and if they don't say something in 3 minutes, we said, hey, are you okay? So, thank you, Trenton, our men and women in blue. Parks and Rec Down Patrol, Mr. Pine.
All right, the community center was rented 172 hours. We had 2 animal control work orders, recreation parks, ball fields, we had nothing there. The land across the creek next to the buildings and Eagles is being cleared little by little, so that should be done soon.
Yeah, there's another part that Mr. McBriar's gonna get with us on when the weather gets better. Somebody has started a survey in there. We're not sure who it was. We think it was Ingles. I'm not sure. There was a bunch of marks in there, so we're trying to work with them. And we're also getting permission to get an easement, temporary easement, to get into the facility more, or that to clean up more through Circle K. I've asked the manager to get with the owners, let us know if we can use just something off their property, because he didn't get it something to get in there. So we've touched base a few times, but it's to him to give us another confirmed price to clean it up some more. All right, fire and utilities, Commissioner Hunt.
We had 2 property reviewed, new construction 4, garage additions 1, and a remodel 1. And we completed 3 electrical and HVAC and plumbing inspections, did a courtesy inspection with the health department at Jefferson's. And in the fire department, we had 8 fire-related calls, 13 accidents, 4 medical, 20 standby, that were dispatched and canceled to 45 for a total of 90. And the total calls for 2022 was 1,024. And the sewer department had 22 underground locates, 3 emergency locates, 12 sewer calls, 1 sewer line inspection, and 1 sewer tile. And I want to thank each and every employee with the sewer department and the fire department and everything within my department, because they've done a wonderful job this past year.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. Street Commissioner Martin, Commissioner Wood.
Other than our normal stuff, I guess the only thing that was different was, we had some bad weather, and I think the guys did a great job keeping the roads salted and keeping the streets maintained during that. And I would like to just say, if you didn't attend our joint meeting, I know we all did, but I'm saying out there, if you didn't attend our joint meeting, it was the county and the county and the city that met together to discuss the voters registration building and the animal shelter. And y'all, I used to come to these meetings years before I was ever on the commission. And it's really refreshing, because our county and our city is working together like, I've never seen it work together. That, I mean, it is. I mean, we met and we talked and we disagreed, but we still agreed. And
we agreed to disagree.
And we got some stuff done, and we're gonna move forward, and I am tickled to death that we're gonna be breaking ground on animal shelter. I mean, this has been like 20 years that I've been on this thing. And so, but folks, it's really gonna happen, and I hope this community, and I know they will, it's been a hard time getting here, but I hope that everybody will really get behind and be supportive, because there's a lot of people working hard on making this happen. And our county executive and our mayor has really, really come together on
Again, my report, again, echoing what Monda, and, it takes, one thing I echo is that to me, we're still working with county and city taxpayers, which are the same person. And, we're trying to be the best stewards of the county taxes and funding and stuff that we get from everything besides our taxes. And you look at our tax bill, and I was running through some stuff today, our taxes, if we just put them in one department, would pay for the police department's salary. That's it. It wouldn't pay their insurance, it wouldn't pay their things. This, just that section of taxes that we get, if you look at our budget, all our other revenues gets us to where we are. But that's what we're trying to do, to be that best steward, and I really appreciate the commissioners to do this and on both sides, and then meeting on a Wednesday, and we're gonna try to, I was just thinking today is that we want to meet again. We're all getting different ideas together. And I feel the last week in the month is the best. That gives the county commission time to talk about it at their first meeting. And then us to take the first week of the month, the next month, and us the second week. It gives us a 2-week window to, almost a 3-week window to get stuff together and meet again. And I think we're going to meet monthly until April to get a lot of things figured out. The biggest thing we said, and we're going to echo it again, you're going to hear us say this a million times, you got to figure out how to pay for it month to month. Cost of the director and assistant are working with that. We got a lot of people pulling string, getting information from us. And one of the things that I stressed in is that we all need to understand what's the Georgia law, to make sure we're all clear on it. And, the county stepped in a good thing of animal control that we've had to deal with for a while, and Terry's been a long commissioner of that. How are we going to divide that? So please, if you see it, come and grab your commissioners and help put some input in it. We know we're going to be the best stewards of what we can to take care of that thing. I'm going to echo another thing, and I'm hoping that we talked about this week also, or last week also started, that I want to thank Commissioner House for this, and what we've done is we also started our first week with our 2 additional men at the fire hall. That starts from 6 a.m. in the morning, goes to 5 p.m. in the afternoon with different shifts for them. The first day, it was a very crazy day. It was a holiday for government. They had 2 calls, or 3 calls, and one of them was a gunshot, with a self-inflicted gunshot wound in our subway. It took both of them and me to grab that gentleman because we had no ambulance in the county. He was shot in the pelvis area, close to his femoral artery, and a second shot hit the top of his foot. And in my position where I am, and with the guys those 2 guys were EMTs, one of them was an advanced EMT. We took that man, got him, and we had to meet in a paramedic truck towards Chattanooga because that's how critical we were at the time. So right then, to me, it paid for that, because you never know what's going to happen. We had talked about with the administration of the fire hall what we would do if something like that happened. We made a decision, as Chief Kaiser was the chief on the scene. I showed up as the director of EMS, and I said, can I have one of them to go? And we took them both and met the ambulance, but it was man was very critical, very lucky to be alive. If it had been a little bit more to that femoral artery, and that's the biggest thing you don't want to cut away, but it was something. I don't know if we could ever. It was a record day. I said, if anybody else tops this day, I don't want to do it no more, because it was crazy. But they have been Johnny on the spot. They've been busy. It's been nice to know and hear that truck. You're going to see our rescue truck moving a lot for those 1,024 calls that Commissioner House just talked about. These guys will be moving. So it's been a good thing. It's been a long time for our community to have that, and I'm just blessed that we was able to do it. So thank you, Commissioner, for that. All right, let's get into some finances for ending the month of November. Total taxes collected was $502,213.84. It's on page 3 of your finances. The next section is expenses for that as well. For the expenses for the month of November was $111,433.19. That is a big increase, but as we know, that's when taxes are coming in November, December, and January. So you're going to see your big months of revenues, but that's what we operate on all the rest of this year. Year-to-date, January through November, total taxes collected is $2,438,629.83. Total expenses for the 11 months, $2,011,957.61. Going through the counts, general fund count is $787,476.28. City of Trenton sewer fund is $189,874.91. Hotel motels, $144,680.63. Trenton Police Department fund is $2,484.99. ARP funding, $803,950.61. Fire Department fund is $2,823.99. 2015 current bond obligation that we talked about on our animal shelter is $60,939.64. 2021 splosh is $256,006.73, and the reconciliation follows behind all of those from the banks, and I forgot the sewer. Overlook it. I'm talking about the sheets.
Yeah, it should be behind me.
Oh, it's behind, sorry.
Yeah.
Listen. I apologize. I have my books together. Charge for services month of November is $48,882.64. Expenses for the month of November was $42,922.64. Year-to-date, charge for services is $524,204.70. Year-to-date expenses is $426,415.92. So that is finances, my report of finances. I would like to have a motion on the financials for ending November 2022.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner House,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Powell. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we're going to appearances. I don't see Ms. Gass. You know, this is a slow time for them, but we appreciate what they do. Going to Ms. Mindy, Lake County Public Library.
All right. I gave everybody our yearly stats. That is basically for the year 2022, starting in January of last year. So basically all those stats are when I was there. Finally been there a year. Our circulation was at 42,889. That's how many items circulated from our branch. Downloadable circulations, that's, y'all have heard me talk about Libby, the audiobooks, and we have an e-read kids. They're audiobooks, ebooks, and magazines. 13,488 circulations for our downloadable circulations. Our door count for 2022, 26,950 folks.
Now, this is how many you had come in?
Yes, this is for the year.
How many days operation?
Oh, I've got that somewhere, but not in my head, not on my paper.
Is it 3 days a week? 4 days
We're
a week?
open Tuesday through Saturday, so 5 days a week. But, you know, Friday and Saturday.
260 days.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you touched-
She's
Oh, I won't do the math. I gotta see this math.
No, we're closed Sunday and Monday.
Oh, okay. Oh, Tuesday, okay.
Yeah.
103 people a day.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah, I know. We see a lot of folks come in, and I think one of the things that I feel like it's my job to share with y'all too is some people don't realize how the community uses the library and what a resource we are for folks from all walks that come in that maybe don't have internet at home, they don't have a computer at home, they don't have a printer at home. They come to the library because they know they can get access to all of those things, even when they don't know how to use some of those things. We're always there to help anybody in the community access those. Computer use for 2022, 3,200 people logged into the computers. Printer pages, that's not exactly representative, simply because of how our live data works. A lot of times folks have trouble remembering their passwords, so they can't get on our computers and log in, so they just send us their documents to print for them, which means it doesn't show up on our live data. So any of those documents that they send to our circulation desk email and we print for them doesn't show up on there. Even so, 6,568 print jobs we did for folks. Since July, we got a new fax system in, and since July, we've sent 96 faxes. 167 study room usages. That means people coming in and using our study rooms for whatever purpose. Meeting room was used 35 times throughout the year. We added over 1,000 books to our collection in 2022. We continue to add books every month. We highlight those. We've seen a lot of comments on Facebook recently. Our new youth education coordinator is highlighting some of the new books and putting reviews. And we've had people say, "Oh wow, I didn't know you did this." So we're seeing some movement there. People getting excited about reading some of our new book editions. We added 417 new patrons and play card circulations. Play card is the collaboration between Georgia Public Libraries and Georgia Public Schools that gives every student that's enrolled in a Dade County public school an automatic library card that allows them 5 items at a time with no fines. We feel like that really broke down barriers of kids whose parents just didn't have time to come and sign them up for a library card. We saw 415 circulations in the play card usage. Book bundles, we started a new program. We consider it a passive program where our youth education coordinator, Sam, is putting together little book bundles based on reading levels. So all based on grade level as well. So kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade. She has selected a variety of maybe 5 books, put them in a bundle so you don't have to come search for some different titles, nonfiction, fiction, for the age range for your child. You can just come grab them and go. She put together 3 as a trial run, 2 circulated within the first 3 days of us having them and advertising them on Facebook. So we're excited to see how that grows for busy parents being able to just stop in and grab something. We also have decided to designate certain time for our teen space where we have some refreshments and some snacks and a Keurig coffee maker where only teens get to be in that area. We've had a request from some of our teens that they just like to be on their own. So we've created that sort of sacred space for our teens. We have a winter reading challenge for anybody that wants to log their points on Beanstack and enter to win prizes at the end of the month, just to challenge people to keep track of how much they're reading on a daily basis. We've been working with Cloudland Canyon on several different programs, but they came in and did one of our Kids Club programs this past week, all about bats. We had 2 naturalists from Cloudland Canyon State Park come in and do a presentation all about bats. They did that last week. We had about 15 kids come to that. We are offering it again at the end of the month for homeschoolers at 1 p.m. So for those kids that couldn't come to the 4 o'clock presentation, they can come again at the end of the month at 1. We're also inviting, I don't know if any of you were around or participated, but a couple years ago, Claire Vassort, she is a local artist in the community. She does silk paintings. She worked with the library, Art for Libraries, and created all the silks that are hanging in the library with all of our patrons. She's coming back to do a teen program on Tuesday for our young creatives, where they will be working on a collaborative silk painting to hang in the library. So we're excited to welcome her back. As always, you can go to our website, chrl.org, to find all of our January programming. We try to get our February programming up on that calendar as well by the basically middle end of the month of January. So check us out. We're also on Facebook. We've got our program schedule on Facebook. We also do updates. You can ask us questions. So check us out on Facebook and Instagram as well. And thanks again, commissioners. As always, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share with you the importance of our public library.
Do you have a lot of people come from Alabama to our library?
Yes, I don't have that statistic on here, but I'll be happy to find it.
No, you don't have to do it.
We have a lot of out-of-state.
I thought so. Now, are they allowed to have library cards?
Yes, but it's not free of charge because As you know, all of our funding for our public library is based on our funding taxing agencies. So because we're a Georgia public library, the folks in Trenton and the folks in Dade County pay for our operating budget. So if you are an out-of-state patron, you pay $25 a year to get a card. And that still allows you 50 books, all the regular checkout items. And if you go to Chattanooga and you don't live, and if you live, work, go to school, or own property in Georgia, you can have a free library card. So some people that live in Alabama, if you work in the state of Georgia, you get a free library card. That's not the case in Tennessee, and they charge $55 for a year.
Okay, so somebody that lives in Alabama works here, they can get it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Anybody that lives in Alabama or in Chattanooga that wants to have if they work anywhere in Georgia, they can have a Georgia Public Library card for free. They only pay if they don't. And we've been told that our library is really great. For those folks that come in from Alabama, they really feel they don't have an option other than ours, a viable option. So we do get a lot of folks that are really appreciative of being able to come to Trenton.
There's not many like us with 2 states besides.
Can I add on to that?
Yeah.
I got to, actually, Renee gave me a thorough tour of the library, so there's a story coming out in this week's paper that has that information and more if you're curious to read. It's a pretty long, extensive story about all the stuff going on in the library.
Yeah, it's a busy place, and I encourage everybody to be there. And I think we just had some visitors come through and look at it. I know Commissioner Norris went in there one day, spent some time, and it's a very 103 people a day visit the library. It's busy. Lights today, Ms. Sandy.
Yes, I'd like to comment too that is one of the best libraries I've seen, and seen several, so I'm real happy to
You bet from here to there.
So the Alliance for Data is focusing on the business side of things, and so I'm always looking for online sessions to make available for small business in the community, as well as sessions that you can go and actually see on site. So what I'm doing is keeping up with the Small Business Development Center, their webinars. They're available on our newsletter and also on our Facebook page. We also are trying to provide information about grants or loans that are available to small business as well. So any of that information, anyone can subscribe to our newsletter. They don't have to be an investor, although we would love for them to be. But they can also call our phone number 706-657-4488 for more information. We'll be happy to give them details on those webinars. Also coming up, talking about Cloudland Canyon as well. For those who are not aware, Cloudland Canyon puts out a interpretive center program agenda for the first half of the month, from the 1st to the 15th, and then the 15th to the end of the month, each month. It's on their Facebook page. It's also on our Facebook page. And again, be happy to give anybody information on that. There are a lot of wonderful activities that are happening in the park that are available for residents as well as visitors. The other thing too is kind of a shout out to our local attraction, Lookout Mountain Flight Park. There is a documentary that's going to premiere at the Walker Theater in Chattanooga on the 15th of this month at 7 p.m. A Dream of Flying, and it talks about the story of the park, the past, future, and present. And if you want tickets, lookoutfilmfestival.org is where to find those. Our numbers for the visitor center, we had 10 Dade County residents, 21 visitors, and 21 phone calls for the month of December. Any questions?
It's pretty impressive to look out Mountain Flight Facility.
Yeah, I think so.
There's them, and there's another one in Florida. I want to say it's in Davenport, maybe. And we visited while we were down there one year, several years. Actually, my dad stayed there several years, but they knew Mr. Taylor, the 2 owners did.
Right.
A lot of time in the winter, they migrate down there to fly, but down there they have to be pulled up by tow planes, and they pull them up all day long. And we got to meet some very nice people up there, so it was
But
too.
Alex, but when My sister and I were having a yard sale, I'm sure everybody's probably
Yeah.
aware of it. We had some people that came here to visit, and they were from somewhere down in South Georgia, and I'll have to look it up. She's a friend of mine on Facebook now, because they came to Lookout Mountain, they came to the flight park for her birthday, where she could hang glide.
Wow.
And she's like, at least my age. You know, so she,
So, means you ought to try it now.
no. But anyway, that is something that really does draw a lot of people.
It really does. We have two wonderful assets here, that the flight park and the state park.
Yeah.
And the state park sees more than 400,000 people a year, so.
Some people have permanently moved here because of that flight park.
Exactly.
And if y'all know
Oh,
Daniel
lots of
Jones,
people.
Daniel Jones is a close friend of mine, the assistant 911 director, paramedic, firefighter here on the department with us, and that's what brought him here from Gainesville. And then he married a sweetheart back home, brought him here, and raised her kids here, so it's something else.
Inadvertently, that's how we found our way here. My husband came with his dad in the 80s.
Yep.
My husband's dad was one of the first people to hang glide in England. He's from England. And brought his hang glider here, and they didn't live anywhere near here, but he knew about this place, and he came. And so they were here in the early 80s, and I'd never been to the area. And when my husband was looking for a teaching position,
Wow.
he was
That's
like,
awesome.
well, I've been hang gliding there. And I'm wondering, are we gonna have a presence at the Lookout? Are y'all gonna be at the Lookout Film Festival?
I'm going.
Okay, because I've been in the past, and it sees a lot of people, so it would be great to have a presence there,
Yeah.
to sort of promote
Maybe
it.
to hit to YouTube and some other things after this, and people can
Oh,
visit us.
Well, I'm hoping we can talk to the author, the promoter, and see if we can use, there is a trailer for the documentary. I'm hoping maybe we can use that on our new improved tourism website.
Wow, that's great.
I would really
I
like.
just contact info.
Great, okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, thank you. Thank you all. I don't know of any legal matters, commissioners, or any unfinished business. Do we have anybody who wants to speak, citizen who wants to participate, or say something, or hello, or, if not, we'll start into new business. We'll take items considering the consent agenda, approval of agenda, approval of previous meeting minutes. We appointed a subcommittee for Commissioner Powell, Commissioner Wood to be the subcommittee for the animal shelter and the elections building, working with the county on this. Splashed equipment, we have a garage doors to replace at the Public Works building to take the glass ones out, put panel insulated to help heat and cooling. Also emergency HVAC repair replacement that we had to do for the Civic Center due to its business of rental of $4,600. The doors will be with Corey Castleberry for $7,625. Updated on the street closures, just still waiting on the attorney, and then we had a list of surplus equipment that we read. Anything else, Commissioners, we missed? If not, we'll go into take approval of the items read to be approved and completed on the consent agenda. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion.
What was the land decision?
Not yet.
Oh, okay, I thought that was in there.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
Make a motion. Motion by Commissioner Powell,
Second.
second by Commissioner Wooten. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Also, under new business, I need to add this, as Clerk was saying, is when we continue along with negotiations with the city attorney, county attorney, to discuss the land swapping. We agreed to pay 50% of the survey. We have turned that loose. Me and Ted both signed that. So once that's done, we'll have the legal documents to be brought back forward to each commission next month. You're okay to allow me to continue working with that, to do that swapping of the tax of the property to the government, to the county government, one government to the next. With the negotiations that we come up with on the elections, and we'll have rough drafts before we do the final approval. We'll have to vote finally in here to do that probably next month.
Yeah, the only thing I would say about that, which I know y'all have the best of intentions, just make sure that it's to where, you know, if we're not here later, people can't go back and change it, you know.
Yeah, that's what they're worried about for the, I don't know yet, but for the paying for that, but right now, it's nearly $10,000 an election for us, having to pay for all the people for early voting, the day of election, and all that, and there's still charges that the state charges each municipal to do its thing. So, Luana's gonna break that down for us, but as of right now, like this election we got coming in November, it's $10,000. If we had a runoff, we'd have to do it again. We did budget for a runoff, so. I think that's more just negotiations, that y'all just approved, and let me continue to negotiate, and we will do the final vote, or you, the commission, will do the final vote on the property between, so keep your emails open and your texts. All right, no executive session? If not, we need to adjourn, go watch them dogs.
I'll make a motion to
Make a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn by Commissioner Wood, and a second by Commissioner Harris. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Thank you all.
The next place to send the bid, we're gonna call and get some information.
What's that?
I'll have that for you.
Get some information on the animal control.